Hello students, welcome to another video lesson. This video is on chapter 9 section 4. Let's begin on page 457. Problem solving, add and subtract lengths. The essential question is, how can drawing a diagram help when solving problems about lengths? So a diagram is a picture like the one you see down here in this example, an image that we will draw to help us solve problems about length. So in this lesson we are going to learn how to solve problems using lengths. So here's the first example. Nate had 23 centimeters of string. He gave 9 centimeters of string to Myra. How much string does Nate have now? So what do we need to find? We need to find out how much string does Nate have now. So here we would write it down. So right over the trace. And then what information do I need to use? So let's go back to the question. Nate had how many centimeters of string? So Nate had 23 centimeters of string. So we're going to write 23 in this line. And he gave how many centimeters of string to Myra? He gave 9 centimeters of string to Myra. So let's write down 9. So show how to solve the problem. Here we have an illustration, a drawing of a ruler in centimeters right here. And we also have a line that is going to represent the string that Nate has. Alright, so how do we know that this is Nate's string? Well, because Nate has 23 centimeters of string is what we know. And if we look here on the ruler, it goes all the way to the 23. Starting from 0 to 23 means that Nate is the one that has this string. So he gave 9 centimeters of this string to Myra. So that means that he's going to have to cut this string and give 9 centimeters of it to Myra. So here's the picture of what he did. He took 9, so he counted down 9 centimeters. And here he's showing it to us with an arrow. He counted down all the way to 14. So 14 plus 9 should equal 23. All he did was count 9 down. And his answer is where he left off, which is 14. So after giving his 9 centimeters of string to Myra, Nate is going to have 14 centimeters of string remaining. Students, we are now on page 458. Try another problem. Draw a diagram. Write a number sentence using a gray box for the missing number, and then solve. So what do I need to find and what information do I need to use? So that's what we need to focus on when reading these questions. So Ellie has a ribbon that is 12 centimeters long. So we know now that Ellie has a ribbon, and we can draw here a ribbon starting from 0 that is 12 centimeters long. So this line is going to represent Ellie's ribbon. I started at 0 and counted all the way to 12. Now we have Gwen, who has a ribbon that is 9 centimeters long. So let's draw another line from 0 to 9. So this green line represents Gwen's 9 centimeter ribbon. So how many centimeters of ribbon do they have? Okay, so the question is asking us how many centimeters of ribbon do they have together if you add them both together? So we need to find out both of their ribbon sizes, which we did. We drew them here. And then we can use this information that we just drew to help us answer this question. So here's something we can do. We can count 9 from 12. And if we count up 9, that would be like adding Gwen's ribbon to Ellie's ribbon. So let's do that. Let's count 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it looks like we stopped at 21. Right? So let me recount that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, we stopped at 21. So that would mean that they should have a total of 21 centimeters altogether. So what we would need to write in this space would be the actual equation. So 12 plus 9 equals 21. So that way we know what we did to get to this answer. For number 2, a string is 24 centimeters long. So let's draw that string. So let's start at 0 and draw all the way to 24. So now Justin cuts 8 centimeters off. How long is the string now? So he's going to cut 8 centimeters off of this string. So starting from 24, let's cut 8 centimeters down. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we stop at 16. So since we cut down 8, we are left at 16, right? This is what he's going to have remaining after he gives away what he cut off. So how long is the string now? The string should be 16 centimeters long after he cuts 8 centimeters off. The equation for this will be 24, which is the total size, minus the 8 that he needs to cut off, and that's going to give us 16. And ignore this 14 down here. Class, we are now on page 459. Share and show. Draw a diagram, write a number sentence using a gray box for the missing number, and then solve. So if you feel like you understand the examples that we did earlier, you can go ahead and work on 3 and 4 on your own. If you need a little extra help, you can work on it along with me. If not, wait for the answer. So for number 3, a chain of paper clips is 18 centimeters long. Sandra adds 6 centimeters of paper clips to the chain. How long is the chain now? So let's start working on that problem. First thing we need to do is draw a line for the chain of paper clips, which is 8 centimeters long. So we start at 0 and draw it all the way to 18 centimeters long. Now the next part of the sentence says that Sandra adds, so she's going to add 6 more centimeters of paper clips to that chain. So we're going to add, not subtract. We're going to add 6, so all we have to do is count 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there we go. Now what is our math problem? Our math problem is 18 plus 6 equals 24. So how long is the chain now? 24 centimeters long. Number 4. A ribbon was 22 centimeters long. Then Martha cut a piece off to give to Tao. Now the ribbon is 5 centimeters long. How many centimeters of ribbon did Martha give to Tao? Okay, so it looks like Martha is going to give Tao some ribbon, so she's going to have to subtract or cut a piece off in order to give it to him. So we know that we're going to be subtracting. So let's start by drawing that ribbon. So a ribbon was 22 centimeters long. Let's start there. From 0 to all the way to 22 centimeters. So now we know the second sentence is telling us that Martha cut a piece off to give to Tao, which means we're subtracting in this problem. So now the ribbon is 5 centimeters long. Ooh, they threw a little curveball at us. They didn't tell us how much he cut. They're telling us how much is left. So after the ribbon was cut, after Martha cut a piece off, she was left with 5. So here is what she's left with. 5. So how much did she cut off in order to give to Tao? Well, you can figure this out by counting from 5 all the way to 22, or you can count from 22 all the way to 5. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 17 centimeters of ribbon that was given to Tao. Students, we are on page 460. This is the mid-chapter checkpoint. So here we are going to review some of the skills that we learned throughout the chapter. So feel free to attempt this on your own and then come back for the answers. Or you can work along with me if you feel more comfortable. So number 1, use a unit cube. Measure the length in centimeters. So for numbers 1 and 2, they're asking you to measure these images using centimeters and using a unit cube. However, you could use your centimeter side ruler if you wish to solve these problems. So number 3, the pencil is about 11 centimeters long. Circle the best estimate for the length of the string. So you're going to circle one of these 3 answers. We know that the pencil is 11 centimeters. So using that information, is the string smaller or bigger? And then by how much smaller or bigger is it? Number 4, use a centimeter ruler. What is the length of this ribbon to the nearest centimeter? So using the centimeter side ruler, measure this ribbon to the nearest centimeter. How much do you have when you measure it? So work on these problems. Pause the video now and we'll come back and review. Alright class, let's go over the answers. So for number 1, you should have about 9 centimeters. For number 2, you should have about 5 centimeters. For number 3, you should have circled 7 centimeters, right? Because it couldn't be 10 centimeters because that would be a little bit smaller. 16 centimeters would mean that the string is bigger than the pencil. So 7 is the only reasonable option here. Number 4 is 13 centimeters. Alright students, that concludes today's lesson. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.